I'm going into the Via dei Giubonari. It's one of the places I'd like to walk the least, especially at this time of night, because a lot of people are hurrying to get home, and there are about a gazillion tourists, and it's unpleasant. And I don't like the shops and whatever. Here's a kind of a famous place. It's called Roscioli, and they have several little shops, and it's extremely popular, very overrated, kind of deli, bakery, etc. But they have endless streams of people who insist on eating there. And then there are these guys, make us absolutely insane. But here's another kind of branch of the Roscioli thing here, and their burgeoning empire. You can see they have a lot of high-end wines and so forth, and their counter has cheeses and things. It's the usual kind of thing. I like Ruggieri down the street a lot better. They're a lot more friendly. And there's over here, there's another branch, kind of another branch of the Roscioli. Over here where this forno is. Forno means oven, which means bakery. And so here's the Via dei Chiavari. This is where right here is where the Parione section begins. And right over, this is number 6. And right over here is where Regula starts. Parione and Regula are kind of my neighborhoods. And this over here is where Eustachio ends. So I'm at the intersection of 3 of these rioni right here in this little spot. And this also has one of the Mondazzaro signs. You can see the graffiti here. If I would apply the penalties that the Monsignor Presidente delle Strade applies to people who dump, who leave litter and stuff, garbage. This one is 10 scudi, 10 scudi, and other punishments are possible too, including the corda, which was, pretty bad actually. But so anyway, here's a little bit of this area. I lived right near here at San Carlo ai Catinari for a while when I was a deacon, and then as a priest for a very short period of time, because when I needed a place to go in a hurry, I wound up being able to be there. We'll just walk along a little bit more. This is the corner where you can go into where the Monte di Pietà is. This was a place established by the church for loans, so that the people wouldn't have to go over the way to where the Jewish quarter was for their loans to the usurers. And it's interesting that still around this little piazza up there, right in front, there are still a whole bunch of pawn shops. Here you can see one. It still says here, Compro Oro. Compro Oro. And kind of a fun thing is that when it came to springtime, the women of the area would bring their fur coats in and pawn them, because they had vaults where they could be kept safe and in cool conditions and so forth, away from anything that might munch on them. Yeah. So we're just kind of going along. There's more of the Monte di Pietà down there. And if we come up here, this street will go down to the parish. And so you can see the parish there in the background, and all the way down to the string of lights are. That's where the Ponte Sisto is, where that guy, rather unattractive fellow is, who's filling up the whole damn screen. There's a very good cheese shop that woman is looking into. You see the bridge there, and there's a little chapel there too, which the parish is going to going to take over. But you can see the facade of Santissima Trinita through there underneath the arch. Turning this way, we have the little Largo or Piazza dei Librari, and in the back there you see the facade of the little church of Santa Barbara. And above the top of Sant'Andrea della Valle. See how many churches there are here. And of course, this place is also famous for, this is a brand new place, it's Cabulo, I don't know anything about it. But over here is the famous filetti di bacala. And they have only a couple things. I think I might have done a little video of that. Maybe the last time I was here, I came in and went all the way back to pick up my food. And so this is the filetti di bacala, where a lot of people come for filetti di bacala because it's about all they have. It's reconstituted cod that's deep fried. They wrap it up in newspaper for you and you take it home. And look at what these assholes did, sorry, to this. It's another one of the garbage signs. See, this is why I would apply the penalties of the old days to these kids. They're like little dogs. They have to go around and pee on the wall. Okay, well, yeah. So I rant. We're going to continue up the Via dei Giubanari. This is a garbage truck. The garbage collectors are very often young women who are oftentimes very well coiffed, nice hair and earrings and jewelry and so forth. It's a cultural thing I've never been able to figure out, but I always, and the ones that come around the neighborhood, I always greet them and thank them for the job that they do, because it's a really hard job here in Rome, and it's kind of thankless, really. But yeah, here's another cannabis shop. They're everywhere now. And this is interesting here. The sign up here talks about how one day when a fellow was dying, Pope Pius IX was walking along in this street, because he used to walk all over Rome, Pius IX did. And he wound up coming by just as a priest was bringing a man last rites. And you know what they would do, of course, they would go out with it all dressed up, and they'd go out with a bell and ring it. Everyone would kneel down in the streets, and then they would have two candles along, bringing the Blessed Sacrament for the Viaticum. And so he recognized this, and he decided that the Pope decided that he was going to do it. So he took over, basically went up into this palazzo here and gave this man the last rites. And so this says, on the 28th of March in 1831, Pope Pius IX, finding himself in the presence of the Most Holy Viaticum, followed it, and he went across this threshold. And so here the family of Vincenzo Cacace was visited and blessed by the Savior of the world and by his vicar on earth. That's really quite a wonderful thing, you know. Only in Rome. Yeah, the popes used to walk around, and they used to walk around. Well, I am heading into the Campo dei Fiori, and then I've got to go to the grocery store and run some errands. This is the place I was talking about earlier, Ruggieri. I took you in there the other day, and the guys, I think, even waved at you. But, there's Ruggieri. And they're doing all the cleanup here in the Campo. They got to set this up every day, and they got to tear it down every day and clear out the piazza, clear out the Campo. And it's really quite an astonishing operation if you think about it. But they've got a whole bunch of guys from countries which I can only guess at, whose languages are an entire mystery to probably even to themselves, who are here to move all the stuff around. And then there come through the big garbage trucks and the street sweepers. They come through here, they sweep up and gather up all the stuff, and they're roaring around again and again in the piazza. And here we have the inevitable stream of tourists. It's kind of, well, anyway, it's nice that they can see Rome, I guess. But for those of us who are a little more stable here, it can get pretty annoying. The world's best sacristan's parents were here the other day, and they actually went home a couple of days earlier because they just couldn't stand the tourists. So anyway, I don't want to leave this kind of complaining and so forth. I'm going to make a supper tonight, and I have my plans for that, and I am now going to go and
I'm back from grocery shopping.
My grocery. Well, no, I still have to stop at the butcher, and I have to find some cheese. But I just thought I would give you a little different view of the Campo. More tourists coming. They come in waves, and these look like they have to stay here in the area, probably an Airbnb, my guess, or the taxi would not come and get them where they wanted to be collected. And so they are stuck here again, garbage trucks. And over there is our dear people putting his flowers away. And right over there is Cafe Taba Cafe, where I go every once in a while. And around here, I've got to go up over here to where that green cross is and get something. So there's people, the Fiorista. They're all tearing everything down.